now joined by a true media maverick and journalism powerhouse. I know that because I hired him. Daily Beast executive editor, Hugh Dougherty. Hugh took over the reins this past June. He brought his no-holds-barred approach to the Beast from his reporting days at the Daily Telegraph, the New York Post and the Daily Mail. And I'm so glad we've finally forced you to come on the pod, Hugh.
It's a pleasure to be here, Joanna. And Sam, I've been waiting for this day for years.
I feel like I've been waiting for this all my life. So thank you.
Huey, if I may call you Huey on air, as it were, it's been a pretty busy week at Mar-a-Lago. I think of you as our Mar-a-Lago patio correspondent. Tell us about what's going on down there. And I'm disappointed that you're not in your Tommy Bahama's best shirt.
I gave you the option of buying a Mar-a-Lago membership for the Daily Beast, and you did not want to part with $1 million.
It's $1 million? Are you kidding?
The most recent memberships have been an offer for $1 million. Sam, I know you can probably stretch to that, but so I'm going to do my best to take you onto the patio and into the fake situation room that Donald Trump is using in Mar-a-Lago.
He has a fake situation room?
So Trump and his closest aides are working in two places at Mar-a-Lago. During the day, they're in the fake situation room. They've set up a big room full of monitors, and they are watching clips of the people that he is considering for his cabinet and for his top positions. And the big judgment for Trump, we are told, is how do they perform defending him on air?
Of course they do.
So who's the best attack dog? Are they telegenic? Are those the two markers?
We believe those are the two markers. The best indication we have has been the order in which people have been appointed. And the first big name to be appointed, of course, was Elise Stefanik. She's a Republican member of Congress for upstate New York, and she is going to become Trump's ambassador to the United Nations. She became best known for her all-out attacks on the presidents of Harvard and Penn during the occupations of their campuses by anti-Israel protesters. And she's endeared herself to Trump by being a ferocious defender of him, not just on Fox News, but on mainstream media as well. And because she's the first that was appointed, I think that gives you some insight into what he's looking for in his cabinet.
She definitely has the air of wanting to sit at the table with all the cool girls. I do have a question. Can I ask? Okay, so can you set the scene for me a little bit? Like, okay, so what does that patio look like versus the situation room? So they've made like a fake situation. I just want to kind of get a picture of it. Can you just kind of draw a picture of what that looks like? Like who's sitting where? Who's there?
So Mar-a-Lago, of course, is a huge complex, and the central stage is the lawn and patio. And at night, it's set with tables, and the central table is set for Trump and whoever he is dining with. It's surrounded by a rope, and it's underneath a canopy. And around that are arrayed different tables. Of course, this is a great time of year to eat outside in Florida. It's 84 degrees, 85 degrees just about every day this week. And at the inner table, Trump is always present in the evening. And with him is whoever is in favor at that moment. Since the election, at least 3 times, Elon Musk has been spotted at the table. Melania Trump has been spotted at least once.
So she's moved back then?
Melania's movements are not entirely clear. She has been seen at Mar-a-Lago on the night of on election night and on a subsequent night. Whether she stays in Mar-a-Lago or returns to New York, we don't know. And obviously, we don't really know what her plans are for the West Wing, although she has hired an aide from Goldman Sachs who is going to help her staff her presence in the White House.
I wonder if Elon moves into the East Wing. I loved Anna Navarro's suggestion that he was now the First Lady.
Well, Elon himself is calling himself the First Buddy, and Kai Trump, who is regarded as Trump's favorite grandchild, she's the 17-year-old daughter of Don Jr., she's calling him Uncle Elon and saying he has reached uncle status.
Wow. And Susie Wiles is there the whole time in her aviator shades, keeping the whole process going forward.
Susie Wiles is incredibly powerful as Trump's chief of staff. She was the co-manager of his campaign, and she has been credited with bringing organization and discipline to the people around Trump, which is a notoriously difficult skill. She's not what you think of as one of the Trump women, and I'm going to defer on her appearance, but unusually she's a 67-year-old grandmother, and she's from a very conventional Republican background, and that's not something that has ever really been seen in the Trump circles before. He's referred to her as the Ice Queen or the Ice Maiden, and her tell when she needs to bring some discipline and order, and frankly to get Trump to stop, is she puts on those mirrored aviators. And that, it is said, reduces him to silence.
Wow, Dolores Umbridge.
I love it.
I love it so much.
Oh, that's interesting that she has a towel, because Prince Andrew, apparently when he was at parties, if he was bored with the people he was talking to, he would look up at the ceiling, and that was the sign for the aides to move in and move him along. I dare say he wasn't doing that very much at Jeffrey Epstein's, because I think he was thoroughly engaged there.
Wow. I need a tell. I need a tell for when I want to get out of a conversation. Okay, so all day we're in the fake situation room. In the evening, we're on the patio, and then Donald Trump goes off and does like a DJ set. He spins the DJ wheel.
DJT.
So far, there's been no sign of President-elect DJT, but it is one of his favorite activities at Mar-a-Lago, and he gets control of the decks and gets people up dancing.
I need to tell you the story of when I was at Full Frontal, I ended up interviewing some of Donald Trump's old housekeepers, and they told me a story off camera. They actually wouldn't do it on camera, but I think it's okay for me to share it here, about how they would prepare his outdoor patio, because he does like to eat outside. And they told me that when they worked for him, because he's so afraid of insect life and actually nature itself, but he does like to sit outside, that if they knew or suspected that he was coming, they would just hang hundreds of sticky fly tapes on the patio to just catch every bug that was humanly possible to catch. And then if they heard that he was like coming into the suite, like he was like on his way, right before he got there, they would run out onto the patio and pull down all the sticky tape and just hope that they had captured everything that was in the vicinity. And I bet they are doing that now as well.
I'm sure they are. It's a great story.
They are. Okay. And there are people out in the world, out in the press, they're auditioning for jobs right now. Mike Davis is called to mind. He's out there saying the most outrageous things, really just pushing the boundaries of, he's gone far into indecent speech. He's absolutely horrifying. Can you talk to us about the Overton window? Can you explain that concept for us? Because it feels like a lot of people are transgressing that. They're flying right out the window.
So the Overton window is the idea of what it's normal and acceptable to talk about in political dialogue. Things that are outside the Overton window are those things that people really believe that they'd be harmed by saying. And what we're seeing at the moment is what people who study these things call a shift in the Overton window, that it becomes acceptable to say things which didn't used to be acceptable to say. You highlighted the possible Attorney General, Mike Davies, who has used profane language to refer to Democratic officials. And that's something that in the past we'd have expected resignations or firings.
Right.
But in Trump land, it's become part of the norm. So that's the idea that the Overton window has shifted and that those things are now acceptable and in some cases welcomed.
When he goes off and he calls Letitia James a fat ass, which is disgusting, when he's an attack dog of the absolute worst kind, then when they hire someone for the position who isn't quite as extreme or quite as like uses that type of language, their extreme ideas don't feel so scary. Is that the idea?
Yeah, very much so. The idea of trying to move the Overton window is that you get to do things that you might not have been able to do before, or say things that you weren't able to say before. And particularly when it comes to the criminal justice system, that's been very tightly defined in the past by norms and values. So when it comes to the criminal justice system, Trump world is really keen to use their powers for revenge on Trump's perceived enemies. And that's something that was way outside the Overton window. So when Davies speaks in such profane terms about Tish James, then that's helping enable the idea that it's okay to take revenge on enemies, their response can be profane too.
I think we've lived the past 8 years in this realm, and it causes great agitation in the psyche of the nation. So we can expect 4 more years of that, is what you're suggesting? That's what we can look forward to.
I think if you listen to what Trump has said and to what those people around him have said, they definitely want to shift the Overton window in a much more aggressive direction, which I suppose would mean breaking the Overton window.
Yeah, smashing the Overton window.
Smashing it. So there's so much crazy in the cabinet to get through. I feel like we should just hit some of the highlights because there's going to be new ones by the time. They're just dropping all the time. New announcements, suspicions, confirmations. So we've got Susie Wild, Tom Homan, Mr. Family Separation. He's back.
We've got him in charge of as the border czar. And it's not clear if he's going to be in the cabinet. We think probably not. And of course, if he's not in the cabinet, he may not be subject to Senate confirmation. So that would keep some of the confrontations that Democrats would want to have with him much more under wraps.
So Hugh, just remind everybody, a cabinet job requires Senate confirmation.
Yes, that's right. The Senate has to advise and consent on the president's most important aides. Everybody in the cabinet is going to have to get an up or down vote from the Senate, but it's a Republican Senate and it's a MAGA Senate. The Republicans are going to have at least 52 seats, possibly 53.
So, and we've got Governor Kristi Noem. She's the current governor of South Dakota, right? I actually get her confused with the one who got felt up during Beetlejuice on Broadway that time, but that's
Lauren Boebert. That's Lauren Boebert, yeah, who's a congresswoman.
Yeah.
Kristi Noem is the one who shot her dog and then she shot her goat.
That's right. That's right. And in her book, she said that she met with Kim Jong-un, but later would not clarify if she actually had. And nobody has any confirmation of that. And it very obviously didn't happen. So that's a quality pick. Stephen Miller, one of my favorites, former director of speech writing for Trump, first term. He's going to be deputy chief of staff for policy. He is generally a ghoul, has been hated since high school when he said, "Am I the only one who's sick and tired of being told to pick up my trash when we have plenty of janitors who are paid to do it for us?" He's horrendous. He's horrendous. Marco Rubio, Lil Marco, best known for drinking water, weirdly, during the State of the Union rebuttal, up for Secretary of State. There's a whole cast of characters. Everybody's jockeying for position. It's patio power games.
Patio power games. It's sort of auditioning. It's central casting, isn't it? I tend to try and think of everything that Trump does as through the eyes of a television producer. A friend of mine at CNN told me a very interesting story of when he was showing round both President Biden and Donald Trump in preparation for their debate. Mm-hmm. What turned out to be the fateful debate. And he said that Donald Trump spent 20 minutes looking at the cameras, asking where the microphone was, trying to understand the set so that he knew how to perform. And when Joe Biden came in, he came in and behaved very presidentially and couldn't have been less interested about where the microphones or the cameras were at all. And then finally just said, "Do you want a selfie?" And took a selfie and then left. And I always feel that Trump's angle on everything is, how does this play with the audience? How does this play on television? Because we are all now bit parts in his reality show. America is his reality show.
He also reminds me of myself in high school because I did not know how to blend my foundation. And I only ever cared what was happening in the front. So I would curl my hair like Farrah Fawcett, but only in the front, as though the whole back half didn't even exist. I feel like he lives very frontally. Do you know what I'm saying? What are we thinking about RFK Jr.? Is he around? Is he part of the patio power games?
He has checked into a nearby hotel.
Oh.
Even though the Kennedys do have a mansion down the road, seems he might not be quite welcome on that compound. He's checked into one of the hotels near Mar-a-Lago.
Is it the Breakers? Is he staying at the Breakers?
What's the one with the chocolate chip cookies? No, he would never eat a chocolate chip cookie.
He had to check his whale head in. So
I'm told that Trump thinks he's very charismatic, but that the phrase that was given to me was he's very charismatic, but he's crazy as shit.
Well, then why is he so involved? What is the deal?
Well, I'm trying to figure out who Overton was. Was the Overton window actually based on someone called Overton?
Yes, Joseph Overton. He was a conservative scholar at the Mackinac Institute in the Midwest, and rather tragically died very young, died in 2003, age 43, and he was not around to see the movement that the Overton window has taken in recent years, probably in a direction that might surprise him. I don't think any conservative in 2003 thought that we'd be governed from the Mar-a-Lago patio.
Well, I thank him for his work. A nation thanks you.
So have we named all the people that we're curious about so far to his cabinet? Who have we missed?
Well, there's so many, Joanna, that are jockeying for position and lobbying on the patio. One that might be worth highlighting that was a surprise success is Mike Huckabee. He used to be the governor of Arkansas. He's going to be the ambassador to Israel, which at a time of Middle East unrest is a big issue for Trump to be engaged in. And Mike Huckabee brings some unique skills. You'll remember that he's a yo-yo dieter. And he also he's the pitch man for Relaxium. It's a herbal sleeping supplement that he promises will make you sleep better, but which a scientific study apparently showed actually had the opposite effect. The placebo was better. But it's a big development for the Middle East that if nothing else can bring peace, Mike Huckabee can offer some Relaxium.
Relaxium?
Relaxium. And I know what you're thinking it sounds like, but I can assure you that he has pushed it on many conservative channels. And
Relaxium.
We can get you a supplement, Sam, if you want to try it.
It just makes me know that what we need is a line of Daily Beast supplements.
Yes. Yes.
We need our own. Listen, there's so many.
Do you know, it's crazy because actually the supplement market isn't regulated at all. You could put a load of sawdust in a little capsule and sell it, and half the people who take it will think it's doing them good. It's really shocking.
And just a bunch of sawdust and just like some beet granules or something like that. For potency. Yeah, human potency. I don't know, life force. Oh my God, we'll just call it Bee Beast. We'll just call it Beast Capsules. We're going to make $1 billion and then we're going to be ambassadors.
And you can afford the membership at Mar-a-Lago.
Thanks.
Heaven. I want to go to a disco there. I am very curious to see whether or not the founding singer and the manager, they are married, of YMCA allows Trump to play YMCA at the inauguration. They've denied him the right to do that before, but I think they're coming around to it.
She did indeed tell our Michael Daly that they would consider it very carefully and it would depend on where it reached in the charts. And this week, it reached number 1.
Are you kidding?
And I think they said to Michael that they would be up for allowing Trump to use it at the inauguration if they felt it would bring unity to the country.
Okay, wait. Can you sorry. You know what I feel like we're missing from that? I feel like we're missing the beginning of the story, that it's a Daily Beast story.
It's a Daily Beast story by our reporter Michael Daly about the popularity of YMCA, which has now come back. And also because it came out in 1978, which was peak Studio 54, when Trump was just on the dance floor. Or actually, he wasn't on the dance floor. He was at the edge of the dance floor watching other people on the dance floor. That's right, isn't it, Hugh?
Yes. He's been liberated in old age, like every boomer in the villages.
Who's going to perform at the inauguration this year? Will it be the actual assembled village people, the people who are left of the village person?
There's only one original one, but there's one who's been doing it for 10 years, so he's semi-original.
Okay. Well, who else could be there? Kid Rock? Lee Greenwood?
Kid Rock's a guaranteed yes.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Laura Trump? Joanna?
Oh, I hope so, because she needs to launch her singing career.
If I was doing the lineup for the inauguration, I would have her do the Star Spangled Banner.
She could be in place of Amanda Gorman.
Yeah, I don't think Amanda Gorman is going to be there for this.
I think they've asked her and she's busy.
Well, Lara might have another role, Sam, before the inauguration. She is on the shortlist, we understand, to be the senator from Florida taking the seat of Marco Rubio. And she, as you know, isn't from Florida and doesn't really live there very often. But she is one of the people that apparently is going to be considered, our Marianne Akers is reporting.
Sometimes when you give me information, it causes me to lose blood flow to my extremities. And I felt that just now. I felt my fingers and toes tingle and go numb. And so thank you for that. We've a really hot 4 years. Extraordinary time to be alive. Thank you so much, Hugh. This was so exciting.
Only the best is yet to come, Sam.
Oh, God.
Best is yet to come. Yeah, Hughie, I'm worried we've taken you off patio watch and you need to get back there, put on your Tommy Bahama and get back out there and find out what else is going on down there. But I wonder if Elon will last the week, because the one thing we know that's consistent with Donald Trump is he gets bored of people very quickly. He doesn't like anybody to rival him, and he moves through people almost as fast as perhaps Relaxium might move through you. Oh, dear. It's bringing us all down. I think I've just gone through the Overton window.
Oh, no.
I think I've gone through the Overton window.
Laxium. So invigorating for your lower intestine. Olivia, wake up very refreshed.
It's what you need after you've hit the shrimp buffet at Mar-a-Lago.
Hugh, thank you very much. Get back to the patio ASAP. And will you thank Marianne Akers and Michael Daly for their stories this week? Great work.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.